Good afternoon and welcome to the IceHQ Ice Rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia on Warranjoy, Woiwurrung traditional land for the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League Round 4, Game 2 between the Melbourne Ducks and the Perth Inferno here at IceHQ. We're bringing it to you here right beside the ice. I'm Carl Brewer and joining me once again this afternoon is Anton Goss. Gossie, welcome to the broadcast for Sunday afternoon. Your thoughts about yesterday's game?
Well, a lot of one-way traffic yesterday, a score that the Melbourne Ducks will be hoping to quickly forget as they come to battle Perth, who have the opportunity today with the win to go top of the ladder.
They certainly do. It was a very hard day yesterday for the Ducks indeed. They went down 10-0, but there were some positives to come out of that game for the Ducks. What was a pretty dour affair otherwise. There was some great play by Bri Johnson, who was strong in defence and showed a lot of ferocity and managed to generate a few attacking options, especially in the third. So she played very well. The Ducks, they were certainly missing Gregovic a lot, but she's back today, Gossie. Is that going to make a difference?
Well, I think if you look at the last few games the Ducks have played, a lot of the traffic goes through Gregovic. When they moved her back into her normal position on D, she can shut things down in the defensive zone, but also really good on the attack, gives that shot from the point, and the power play looked to struggle yesterday.
Power play absolutely critical with Gregovic. They rely on her on the blue line to fire the cannon, and we know she's got one when she gets a chance to use it. And there were a few penalties yesterday. The Ducks weren't able to take advantage of it. So certainly her presence today will make a big difference.
On the flip side, you look over at the Inferno. They had the 4 power play opportunities, and they scored on 3 of them. So the Ducks have to stay disciplined, and a lot of those penalties come from the sustained pressure.
Yep,
Perth were very happy to dump the puck into the zone and grind down that Ducks team. The Ducks are going to have to do a lot better at making those passes out of the zone if they're going to get any sustained offensive pressure against this Inferno team.
A lot of that was coming too, Gossie, from a little bit of panic in defence by the Ducks. They were ending up with all of their forwards way down below the face-off dots, which means if you do get a turnover and you do recover the puck, you've got no one to pass to. So all you can do in that circumstance is try and skate it out, and there was D waiting for you and they were pretty handy, or dump the puck and get an icing. And that just meant more and more sustained pressure on the Ducks. So hopefully they've learnt from that, and their wingers and their centres will do a better job of at least starting to create some of those breakouts. If they can do that, that will stand them in better stead than yesterday. But the other thing they need to do, Gossie, and we certainly saw that on a number of occasions, they were letting the Inferno players just stand still in the slot with no pressure on them far too many times. So even though they had all the players back there, they just weren't fierce enough in the slot and owning that space. They're going to have to pick that up today. I think Gregovic will make a big difference there as well in their defence, just with that strength and physicality. But another player who's been doing well for the Ducks in that context is Caden Hellier. We didn't see. I don't think we saw her at her best yesterday. But if she's teamed up with Gregovic today, then that will probably make a big difference to them.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, if you look at the Ducks, they know that they need to be better today, and they're going to be led by their captain. I think yesterday, despite getting well behind on the score sheet, Lucy Parrington kept with that intensity and kept trying to will her team back into the game. If you look down on the other side, the Perth Inferno, they're not complacent either. I caught up with the coach moments ago, and he said they looked at the game tape, they watched it, they're going to be better today. Yep. So it just shows that they believe they have another gear, and so the Ducks have to really come to play today.
Well, some interesting statistics to come out of yesterday's game for the Inferno. We did see hat-tricks to Sarah Salmons and Michelle Clark-Crumpton and 2 goals to Elizabeth Scala. That one line did 80% of the damage. They scored 80% of their points. They were on the power play all the time. Now maybe they were starting to hunt for the hat-tricks, possibly, and just shortening the lines up in that regard. But that's the line that did all the scoring.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there was just two. Obviously, 2 goals is a lot. But there was just the 2 apart from that, 3 players who did all of the rest of the scoring. So you've got to ask the question, can the Ducks maybe do a bit of line matching in that context and shut them down and give themselves a little bit of a chance? Now, it's a big ask to shut those 3 down because we've seen just exactly how good they are. But if they can expose that perhaps a little bit, then possibly it could generate some opportunities, because we certainly know that Salmons, Clark, Compton and Scala were just lights out superb yesterday.
Well, I mean, some coaches believe in line matching, some don't. I mean, I imagine the best defenders are going to be going up against that line after scoring 16 points against the Ducks yesterday. But I think if you look at the game, Noddle looked really good for the Inferno as well, and so did Garbett. So as we said at the beginning of the broadcast yesterday, the Inferno do have multiple lines. So if the Ducks are able to stop that top line, there's going to be more damage coming from the girls on fire.
There is no doubt whatsoever that the Inferno is a deep team, and the fire pit goes a long way down. But certainly, just looking at those numbers tells you a lot about certainly their power play in particular. That those players, and I think the last power play they stayed on for the entire 2 minutes of it, and now they had the gas to do it, and they weren't being particularly pressured. But if you're looking for something the Ducks can possibly capitalise on, then that would be the thing. The other thing to bear in mind too, yesterday we thought maybe the travelling might have slowed down the Inferno touch, maybe put a little bit of water on the fire, but it certainly didn't. But now they've had a day of, again, a game yesterday, and even though for them it was a pretty easy game, it's still stressful, there's still adrenaline, still travel, still not sleeping in your own bed. Maybe that gives them a little bit of extra stuff to have to deal with. Maybe they went out and celebrated last night, who knows. You get a couple of hat-tricks, so certainly if you're a beer leaguer, you're going to go enjoy it, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens tonight. I mean, if we go back to the weekend against Adelaide, that second game, we saw the Ducks come back after going down for a bit of a deficit, right?
Yep.
And that was really led by that forecheck. They were really pressuring the defense high in the defensive zone, and they were forcing them to make some missed passes. If you look at the Inferno, despite scoring 10 goals, there were quite a few errant passes that were going around. They weren't necessarily going tape to tape. The Ducks need to keep that intensity and roll those lines, quick, short shifts, and pressure those D and try to get them to cough it up. Because what really it looked like yesterday is that's what the Inferno were doing to the Ducks, right? All the Ducks could do was throw to the neutral zone. You had the captain, Bailey, going D to D with McLennan, and it was just wave after wave. The Ducks have the skill to be able to, get a couple of opportunities, get on the score sheet. We saw that. It's not like they haven't scored before. So they want to come out early, play hard, try to get that first goal, and keep building shift after shift.
And just in terms of scoring goals, to yesterday we had an issue with Janelle Carson, who had a knee injury, and she withdrew about 11 minutes into the first period and was replaced then by Olivia Gagano. Gagano is a standby goalie again today in the net. Starting goalie will be Jade Davis-Tope. And for the Inferno, it will be Sasha King backing up from yesterday. Sasha didn't have much of a workout. There was only 9 shots on her for the entire game, so she'll be pretty fresh. Gagano had to make something in the vicinity of, I think she faced, 49 shots on her in that 2.5 periods, which was a pretty big challenge for her.
Quite a bit.
But she bounces back pretty hard. So starting goalie today is Jade Davis-Tope in the net for the Ducks. And it looks like we're starting off with Grakovic and Hellier in D for,
Stringer.
And Stringer lining up to start off as the first D for the Ducks. Now the Ducks will need to get pressure on early, and if there is any complacency in the Inferno, this is where they need to get onto it straight away, and Parrington will be aware of that. She'll know that she needs to get things going quick, smart. So we're about to get underway. Parrington
up against Salmons. Parrington wins that faceoff against the Stringer. She tried to send it over the wing, but it was intercepted there by Clark Crumpton. Hat-trick yesterday centered that. It was deflected by Scala over the net. And the Ducks just throw it into the far side corner. First to it will be Grakovic, but Salmons meets her and cycles that behind the Ducks net. The captain, Parrington, just chips that to herself. Ducks now off the wall, and Parrington will chase Scala down the length of the ice, and it won't go far enough for icing. So the Ducks will look to get some pressure here. Puck's loose. It's on Parrington. She was trying to find Grakovic. It hit a stick. Parrington instead throws it down behind the net. Rama now will battle there with McLennan. Rama takes a tumble. McLennan and Salmons battle for it, and Grakovic shoots that in on King, who leaves it for McLennan there in the corner. So first shot of the game there for the Ducks as they keep the pressure on here early in the first period.
Certainly that's an improvement over last week where they went the entire first period without a shot.
Picked up here by Newman. She'll take it over the blue line. It's poked up by Webb, and the Inferno now will look to start the offense, but Bukovic will just shoot that in and go for a change. Puck's in the corner for the Ducks. Newman now has it behind the net and tries to throw it in front. Nelson was calling for it in the high slot, but King covers up, and we'll have a face-off in the offensive zone to the right of the Perth netminder.
It's a good ferocity there in defence by the Inferno in McClellan, who was making sure that there was no Ducks going to get across into the slot. And that's the sort of ferocity that both teams need to be doing to be competitive.
Face-off won there by the Inferno. Captain Bailey goes to her D partner. She's pinned up on the wall by Newman. Ducks starting much better tonight. It's stolen here by the Inferno. A nice move to get around by Newman with his Noddle. Sends the stretch pass. Looking for Lekuviak. Hollier rims it up to Newman, just misses that. Noddle will pick up the errant puck. Centers that. Webb couldn't find a teammate, and now the Ducks will look to skate it out through Ryland. Bailey picks that up and has some space. The captain in for the Inferno. Tries to go through, knocks the stick out of Hollier's hands, and will go pick up the loose puck in the corner. Skates it around, head up, will walk in, take a shot, and was looking to go top shelf over the glove of Jay Davis-Tope, but missed the net. It's now on the stick of Webb, and she just mishandles that, which would allow Wilkinson to pressure her in the corner. Yates in on Bailey with composure. Bailey now will send it across to Lekuviak. She's got Garbett, who enters the zone. Garbett back to McKenzie, who takes a shot, a move, and had the open net, but just couldn't get the shot away. The Inferno with the best goal-scoring opportunity so far today. Centering pass intercepted by Johnson, who takes it behind the net. She's being watched there by Reeder. Reeder pins up and out with McKenzie. McKenzie with a shot and a kick save there by Davis-Tope. McLennan activates off the point, cycles it behind the net. Reeder will get there first, just keeps it away from Johnson. Tran comes in for support for the Ducks. She'll cycle it cross ice, activating is Cooper. Johnson just ties it up, but Cooper comes out with the puck. Puck now in the near corner. Cashin just fanned on that one. It's going to be Clark Crumpton who brings it up to Salmons, who centered that, but no one there for the Inferno as Yates shoots it into the skates of Clark Crumpton.
And the Ducks still just a little bit slow in getting the clearances out. They've had a couple of times now where if they were quicker with the puck, then they would have got the puck out of the zone a bit faster. They just need to get quicker at doing that. On the delayed penalty, there's going to be I think a tripping foul on, I think, looks like that's going to be Julia Tran doing 2.
Yeah, Tran just got caught up there with the Inferno forward, and they both tumbled down, and it's deemed a trip to Julia Tran. So the power play that went 3 for 4 yesterday, getting their first opportunity 3 minutes and 41 seconds into the first period.
They've been out on the ice for a while, this combination now, the Inferno. They've got the strong line out again, which is the same thing that they ran yesterday with the power play.
Bailey's got a big shot from the point. If you remember back yesterday, the Inferno were really playing some smart hockey with their demon. They were sending it back and looking to get those short shots. One of them actually, Gargano made the first save, and they were able to get on the rebound. So the Ducks really need to clear that slot area here on the penalty kill. Salmons gets it back to the captain, Bailey. Walks in with some space, leaves it for Salmons, who takes a seeing eye shot, blocked there by the Inferno player, Clark Crumpton. And she'll collect the puck and send it back to the point for her captain. She goes D to McLennan, who one-times that, and that just missed by inches. Bailey keeps the pressure for the Inferno, walks the line. She's watched there by Prosic. Oh, nice pass there for Salmons, just behind her, though, and she'll pick it up. She'll go back to the captain. Goes over to Scala. Scala to Salmons, shot, and they score! Sarah Salmons starts just the way she left off and gets her 10th goal of the season on the power play. 5 minutes and 17 seconds into the first period.
You can see there was a beautiful setup and a lovely puck movement by the Inferno, pushing the puck backwards and forwards. The Ducks had a couple of opportunities to get onto it and clear it out. And that's just something that's been letting them down yesterday and a little bit today as well, is when they are in defence and they do have the puck, they're just trying to hang on to it for a little bit too long. If they can clear the puck out a bit quicker, turn the Inferno around, They've got to actually do that. It's something that's just getting them caught out a little bit more than they would like.
So face-off won by the Ducks, but stolen there by Clark Crumpton, who goes over to Malcolm. Hollier picks it up and runs into the Perth forward. No penalty on the call, though, so Noddle has it here. She'll pass it over to her teammate, and now Bailey will go D to D.
It was Green with a nice little move up the boards.
Malcolm chips it forward to Noddle, just out of her reach. Hollier will take that to the safety behind her own net and rim it around over for Green. Bailey kept it in, and Lekuviak walks out, is loose, and a shot on. Davis Tope down, the puck's loose, and it just squirts past the gaping cage, and the Inferno not able to add to their lead. The Ducks still alive. Webb couldn't keep it in the blue line, so Prosick now will look to chip it up to Nelson. She knocks it on the wall. It's picked up here by Malcolm, who tried to do a loose hand deke, and it's stolen by Nelson, who goes the other way now for the Ducks. She skates in over the blue line, but just offside was Green, as the Ducks were on an odd man rush there.
Only a few millimetres in it there, Green's offside, but the referee well positioned and certainly saw that one. Little bit of inventive play there by the Ducks, but good sustained pressure again from the Inferno. They are picking up right where they left off yesterday and getting that forecheck happening.
Yeah, we saw that on the CCM all-out replay. A great save by Davis Tope, as the Inferno were point blank right all alone in the slot. So here's Garbett skating it out now. Nice pass over to Reeder. Couldn't get it out of the blue line. It's kept in by the captain, Parrington, who takes a shot, and that goes off the blocking arm of King high over the net. Reeder couldn't corral that, so Prosick will get it back to the point. Just gets into the skates of Johnson, and now Reeder will skate it out herself. Parrington blocked that passing attempt, so she'll turn it to go the other way. Shields the puck, and eventually it squirts out to the Inferno defender. Oh, that was McLennan skating through, and the hands up, so we have a delayed penalty to the Inferno. Tran runs into Reeder, and the Ducks will be going back to the penalty kill, having already conceded one power play goal here in the first period.
You can see straight away there on the face of I'll get there in a second.
Parrington?
On the face of Parrington, yeah, there we are. On the face of Parrington, as soon as she did it, she knew straight away what would happen. Clearly unintentional, but the referee has no discretion. You trip someone up, you're doing two.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the Ducks are a bit lucky. Tran stepped up on the forward as well. It could have been two penalties there, but we're here on the power play for the Inferno. They set up, send it down, tried to shoot it across there for Salmons. Bailey picks it up in the corner and sends it back to McLennan. She winds, takes a shot, looking for a deflection, but that went wide, and finally Jelena Gurikovic sends that down the length of the ice.
Interesting to see how well Salmons is setting herself up, just on the post and in the slot, getting a little bit of time and space.
Puck on the stick of Bailey. She goes cross ice over for Scala. She'll enter in with a bit of space, drops it there for Clark Crumpton, being watched there by Cashin. She'll send it down to the corner. Scala walks out, gives it back to Bailey. She'll wind up, take a shot, and it goes right into the breadbasket of Davis Tope as she covers up with three Inferno players there in the slot looking for a rebound.
So the Inferno are doing a terrific job from the blue line of doing smart shots in on the net. They're getting down low, down under foot traffic, and that's where there's sticks and deflections and all that sort of stuff that happens. It's a much better option most of the time than shooting high for corners. It's a high percentage option, and that's what we've seen a lot from them. They're doing it very well.
Kuliak sends it into Malcolm, who walks in, takes a shot, deflected off the stick of Hollier and wide into the corner. Picked up by Cooper. She'll send it across there over Garbett, looking for a pass. Right into the slot, shot missed there by Malcolm. Ducks not able to get it out, though. It's on the stick of Garbett here as the Inferno continue the pressure on the power play. Good stick by Hollier, deflected that, but it's collected again by Malcolm, who will now send it over into the corner for Garbett. Back to Malcolm. Center it for Garbett, a shot on. Davis Tope down, covers up. As the Inferno player there in front of the net was Garbett, looking to push that into the open net.
Jamie McKenzie, too, in the slot was battling away with Caitlin Hollier quite thoroughly, just trying to establish position in the slot area. But Davis Tope managed to make the save and get down on top of the rebound just in time.
So 33 seconds remaining on the power play. The Ducks still yet to clear the zone. Webb now with it on the point. Good job here by Green. She'll look to bring this into the offensive zone. She'll take it into the corner. Kill off some more time, being watched there by Webb. Green pins it up, 19 seconds remaining on the penalty. Eventually, with 3 Inferno players, they do come out with it, and it's now on the stick of Clark Crumpton, but couldn't get it over to Scala. Nelson sends that deep, and that should kill the rest of the seconds on the power play as Lucy Parrington now enters the ice. So the Ducks kill 1, and the Inferno go 1 for 2 in the game. 4 for 6 in the series. Bailey with it onto the wall. Newman picks that up. Tied up there by Clark Crumpton. Can't get it out. Tran now with a shot right in on King. The rebound was there, and the puck eventually shot over the net. Green has it in the corner. Tried to center it to Nelson. She'll pick it up now and take a shot off the leg there, the captain Bailey, but she calmly sends that away from danger. So the Inferno have a bit of time and space now, skating it through Scala. She'll take a high shot, blocking arm save by Davis Tope into the corner, and Briar Johnson now will look to get speed and take it out of the zone. Johnson still with it now, entering in the right wing, looked to center that one, but missed the teammate, and Parrington will just dump that in as the Ducks complete the line change. Nice interception by Parrington, drops it to Prosig, who takes a shot, and a great block there by Georgia McLennan, and the Inferno now go the other way. Parrington chips it back to her defenseman, Hollier, who will rim it around over for Prosik. Pinching was Webb, who kept it in momentarily, but Ryland eventually got there and sent that down the length of the ice, and Parrington couldn't get there, so we'll have an icing and a face-off back in the Duck zone.
Ryland under a lot of pressure when she passed that puck in to allow for that icing to occur. Interesting to see that the Inferno are running their number 1 line twice on that power play as well. They brought them on early on and then swapped them out for about 40 seconds and brought them on for the final 30. You're getting a lot of ice time for those 3, and supposedly, of course, why wouldn't you?
Well, Sarah Sam is now the leading scorer in the AWIHL season, up to 19 points already, just 7 games in. It's on the stick of Ryland, who will send that up to Prosik. Couldn't get it out as Cooper kept it in on the line for the Inferno. Hollier now for the Ducks behind the net. Sends it up to Prosik. She'll try again, and this time, again, can't get it out. It now does. So Cooper kept it in momentarily, but Parrington now, had her stick lifted by Cooper on the back check and negates that opportunity for the Ducks. Reeder chipped that forward, missed a teammate, so Hollier will just quarterback it here on her own blue line and send it over to Grakovic. So we see Grakovic and Hollier brought back together now here as D partners. That didn't take long.
I think it's only a temporary thing, Gosser. They were just in the process of halfway through a change when that got a bit bedraggled.
So the other way here is Clark Crumpton, who will take it wide, just waits for her teammates to change, watched by 2 Ducks, but does some great work to create some time and space, centers it, and it just got into the skates of Scala. Davis Tope is down. Coming out is Clark Crumpton, who takes a shot. Save Davis Tope. Down is the netminder. The puck is loose, and eventually Jade Davis Tope able to get the glove on that, as we'll see this on the CCM All-Out replay, brought to you by Sunny Seafood.
So there was a good 3 chip-aways at the puck there in the slot. Just Inferno doing a good job getting in tight. Sticks down on the ice and banging away, and sooner or later one of them will go. They have got that one early on. 12 shots to 2 so far.
Oh, a shot there, McLennan right in on Davis Tope, who
make that 13.
Made that save and sent it into the corner. Grakovic has her stick lifted by Salmons, who centers that, but no Inferno player there, as Stringer was able to intercept that one. Green chips it forward to Nelson. Nice move. She's in. Winds, shoots, and shoots that one wide over the net.
Good chance there for Nelson with that bit of loose ice space. It came from a high challenge by Webb.
Here comes the speedy Nelson, taking it wide on the right wing, shoots it in. A stick save there by Davis Tope, and it just went over Scala, and the Ducks should be out. And an errant pass there by Nelson. And as Bailey touches up, this doesn't look good. The sniper here for the Inferno, Sarah Salmons, writhing in pain there behind the net. Not sure what happened.
She went hard into the boards. It looked like she might have just lost a foot. I'm not sure there was anything untoward, but we're just going to miss it on the replay. But, she can hit pretty hard into the boards, and it is unforgiving when that happens, but she's up on her feet now.
It's good to see her skating over there. So yeah, she just lost an edge and went right into the M of CCM there behind Davis Tope. But great to see her able to get over to the bench and hopefully nothing too serious.
She certainly seems to be moving fine. They're just having a look at her over on the bench now, and it all seems to be okay, which is good news.
So a couple, early power play goal for the Inferno, but the Ducks have looked good. I think so far they're just looking to hit the net. They've had a couple that have gone over the crossbar so far.
The goalie doesn't have to make a save. It's not really a shot, is it?
Yeah.
But here they come again, the Inferno, just hooking the puck in deep, doing the dump and the pressure thing they've done so well.
So Gallagher just pinned up there by Lekuviak, and it's stolen by Parrington, who couldn't get it past Malcolm. Lekuviak battles on the wall. Rama will chip it up, but can't get it past the captain, Bailey. She'll chip it into the corner, and Lekuviak will chase in on Gallagher, who just rims it back. First to it, there was Noddle. It bounces off a skate and dangerously in on net, but great glove save there by Davis Tope as she tracked that one all the way.
You'll see here just another one of those little battles that sometimes get missed. It was Hollier battling with, I think it might have been McKenzie in the slot or possibly Scala. And you need that level of ferocity, and that's certainly one that Hollier's bringing. We need the rest of the Ducks to do that as well.
So face off to the left of the Ducks cage. Parrington won that one, and she chips it on the wall. Good hand-eye there by Reeder to bot that down. It hits Collier's stick, and it's loose in the slot, and who else but Lucy Parrington picks it up for the Ducks. Prosick just being watched by Reeder. Cooper pinned that on the wall, and now Garbutt comes the other way. If she can get past one defender, Grekovic, there may be an opportunity, but a great second effort by the Ducks import. Stop that opportunity.
Grekovic saw the odd player rush and knew she had to do something about it in a hurry and committed to the check. And the puck hits the roof after a weird deflection. So quite a lot of pucks have been collected up there over the years. Since this rink opened way back in 2019, there's been quite a few pucks end up in the high netting, but every now and then we go through and clear them out. So good work there, Gregovic, to break up that 3-on-1.
Garbutt won that, but a great winger win there by Cashin, but couldn't get it out of the zone. Gregovic now will skate through with speed. So coming in fresh after missing yesterday, she'll wind, take a shot, she scores! It's jelly time, baby! Gregovic scores top cheddar where you keep the cookies from the kids, and the Ducks have tied it here. 13 minutes into the first period.
So all tied up. That's the first goal that the Ducks have had in this tournament so far against the Inferno. They'll be very pleased, as you can hear the crowd here quite excited about it. Gregovic has scored quite a few in that situation. She's got a good movement through the middle of the neutral zone. Gets down low on one knee and just kind of puts her whole body in a nice piece of puck protection. Gets a space, and we've seen the cannon that she's got. And when she gets a chance to use it, bang, in she goes. And the scorer's fingers are troubled by that. So we're 1-1 with 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first.
Gregovic, her third goal of the season, and it's all tied up here. The Inferno through the other way, though. It's Webb now. He chases it in the corner, gets it over to Scala. It's this dangerous line out for the Inferno. Clark Crumpton in front, throws it on, and the pad down, but Jay Davis Tope had a great defender there. Johnson like just keep it close.
She might have just lost sight of the puck there, Davis Tope. I think it was one of those just slightly under the edge of the pad thing where you can't see it. We'll see it on the top down.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She threw her glove down and it just went through. Luckily, her pad was there, though. She'll tell you that. She meant to do that, you know. Here's Newman, who chips it on the wall. Stolen here by Mendon, who just chips it forward to Nelson, who just couldn't get it past the Inferno captain. And Salmon's back on the ice now. Enters the zone with speed. Couldn't get it past the defender, Johnson. Clark Crumpton comes in and sends it over to Salmons. Salmon's 10 goals so far this season. Dominating and having a great early start. McLennan has it in her zone now for the Inferno. Sends it back to Salmons. He chips it forward. It's just tied up there. Parrington in on two Inferno players. The puck comes loose for Noddle, who was looking for Clark Crumpton, but she'll go for a change as Hollier enters her own zone to pick up the puck. Nice pass there by Hollier. Prosick ties up her opponent, which allows Rama to come in and just throw that in on net. And Sasha King covers up, and we'll have a face-off to the left of the Inferno netminder.
Just another little bit of that goal earlier on scored by Gregovic. We certainly have seen that the Inferno is very attack heavy. It's not a bad thing, but it does mean if they are going to give up the occasional rush, and when that does happen, rushes are where the goals are, and Grgovic from the 4 shots now on the net for the Ducks, one of them managed to make it through.
So we spoke about it yesterday that with Grgovic missing, it would be tough to replace, and you see already back in the lineup already making her mark. So 1-1 here, the puck sent down the length of the ice. It goes all the way, and we will have an icing with just over 5, or just under 5.5 minutes remaining here in the first period.
So it'll be interesting to see how the Inferno respond to the scoreboard. I don't think they'll be terribly troubled to it, but at the moment they're currently out shooting the Ducks a factor of 4, so it's 16 shots on the net to 4 for the Ducks. But the score that really matters, of course, is the one that is the ultimate points. We're all tied up at 1 goal apiece at the moment.
Barrington ties up the center draw, comes back to Bailey, who shot that right into the legs of Rama. Reeder had it momentarily, but Hollier stole that, and it hits Rama, who just threw an errant pass into the high slot area, and eventually they do come out. So it's on the stick of Ebony Rama now, who tried to send it over to her captain, but good back check by Reeder, intercepted that, and the Ducks now will change. McKenzie just keeps it away from Grgovic, drops it for Cooper. Cooper takes a shot that knocks the stick out of the hands of Yates, and the Ducks goal scorer now has it behind her own net. Dixon on the half wall, leaves it for Grgovic, who chips it past Bailey. It's up for Cashin, who had her stick lifted by McKenzie, and she'll pick up the loose puck. Nice. Cashin ties it up. 2 Inferno players there. Puck lodged up against the wall. There is Yates looking for it, but with no movement, the referee blows the whistle, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Sasha King.
Nice recovery there by Cashin. She lost the puck under her feet briefly and then was swamped by 2, but managed to at least shut it down deep in the zone. So we'll get that face-off. Ducks with a chance now to see if they can do something constructive from this one.
Grgovic on the point there. Green lost it to Salmons, who sent it forward to Scala. Stringer not able to keep it off the Inferno forward, who just chips that deep. Behind the net is Grgovic, watched by 2 Inferno players. She got it past Scala and eventually over to Newman, who gets it out into the neutral zone. Nelson had her stick lifted by McLennan, who just chips that over the outstretched arm of Stringer. And Grgovic will be forced to pick that up behind her own net. Green up to Nelson. Newman looking for a pass, couldn't get it as Salmon stole it off Nelson's stick. It comes to Scala, down for Newman, back to Scala. And Green now will chip it forward over to Nelson, only to have that stolen by McLennan. Ducks will change, so Grgovic will just shoot that in, and it hits the stick of Webb, and she'll go off and complete the line change there for the Melbourne team.
So nicely timed play there by Grgovic. The idea was just to shove the puck down on the net, which bought her team time to get the fresh legs out that they desperately needed.
Puck chipped off the skate of an Inferno player, so icing waved off, and Webb will be forced to keep it away from the forecheck there of Lucy Parrington. It's tied up on the wall. Lukuviak there, Rama comes out with it only momentarily, activating his Tran, who missed that, and now Johnson will be forced to skate over to keep it away from Noddle. Johnson gains some speed behind the net. She's got some space. Nice move to get around Lukuviak. She enters the zone, still with it. Johnson takes it wide. Parrington goes to the net. She eventually gets tied up by Bailey, and Lukuviak comes in. Parrington walks off the wall, drops it there for Tran. She'll just cycle that behind the net. Cashin will go in and tie up Webb, and Parrington goes for a change, and Cashin left all alone in the offensive zone. Wilkinson rims it back to Webb, who finally was able to get away from Bronwyn Cashin. And the Inferno now will exit the zone through Lukuviak. Johnson chips it into the neutral zone. She'll go for a change. It's picked up, though, here by the Inferno. It's McKenzie, not able to get past Hollier. She'll be forced to curl around, drops it to Reeder, who takes a shot and goes through the slot. Cooper with it for the Inferno, behind the net, looking to center it. Fresh off the bench is McLennan. She finds her now. Leaves it for Cooper, back to McLennan as they play catch, and a shot blocked there by Hollier as it deflects into the corner. Niamh Gallagher with it now, looking to chip that forward to Wilkinson. It was intercepted there by McKenzie. Hollier pinned up. Garbutt comes in for support. It squirts loose into the far corner. Still tying up with it, and walking out with it now is Reeder, who shoots that and hits the skate of Hollier. Wilkinson gets it past Cooper, who will go D to D to her captain. Great pass up to Garbutt, and now the Inferno activate. A pass intercepted by Grkovic, and she's got some time and space. It's a 4-on-1 here for the Ducks. Grkovic in, passes it over. Stolen as she fanned on that as Scala came in with the back check and kept that away from Nelson.
It's another example of just that overcommitment at times by the Inferno.
Here's Nelson, fresh in a shot, gloved by Sasha King as the Ducks try to take their first lead of the weekend.
So that 4-on-1, a good example there. The Inferno, we know they're very attack heavy and they like to push in hard. And that does lead to them occasionally overcommitting, and the Ducks that time getting a good 4-on-1, which is a pretty rare opportunity in this game to create some really good attacking momentum. They couldn't quite finish it off, but if the Inferno keep doing that, then they're going to find themselves losing a couple more goals throughout the season.
What we can tell early is every time Grkovic passes the red line, she's going to be taking a shot. Here it is. So it's with Newman centering it. Nelson couldn't glove that down. Scala will pick up the loose puck for the Inferno and just chip that up off the wall and past the Ducks defender. So Sarah Salmons now sends it forward. Comes in on Davis Tope, who just chipped that into the corner. That's going to allow the Inferno to keep the forecheck on, but it's the errant pass stolen by Nelson, and it just misses Green. And Cooper will be first back here for the Inferno. Nice job by Green. She sends that forward in on King, and she'll just gobble that one up and take the face off.
A bit of a momentum change in the last minute or so of this game. The Inferno have, I wouldn't say panicked a little bit, but certainly been under a lot more pressure than they were expecting from this Ducks team in the last minute or so. In the last 5 minutes, there's been a bit of a change in that in particular. So Ducks now won, the Inferno won with just 18.5 seconds to go in the period.
Face-off was won by the Inferno. Webb fanned on that, but was able to collect it. It comes back to the point. Rama will just fire that one on. There is a rebound, but Webb will pick it up for the Inferno. She sends that down into the neutral zone with 5 seconds remaining. Maybe one last opportunity if Johnson can enter the zone, but it's eventually going to be cleared down the length of the ice by Cooper as the clock hits 0.
Almost perfectly timed on the icing. And at the end of the first, we are all tied up. Ducks won from Grkovic, and the Inferno won from Sarah Salmons on the power play. It was a ripper as well early on in that early on in the first on their first power play. But since then, the Ducks have got themselves into it, found a bit more ferocity, and they're giving the Inferno a bit of a challenge. Shots on the net at the end of the first, 7 shots for the Ducks, and the Inferno 17. So the ice still definitely tilting, but it was leveling out a bit towards the latter part of that first period. Let's see if the Ducks can bring a bit more to the party in the second. We'll be back with you for the second period in about 8 minutes.
It's a gift. And it's a thief. It heals. It teaches. And it can be on your side. It can even fly. We can try to get ahead of it, but it marches on. Time. It can be measured in eras and accomplishments and historical milestones. CCM measures time by its impact. We are the past. We are the future. CCM, we are hockey.
To truly focus in this game, you have to block everything else out and embrace the familiar. At CCM, the Ribcore Trigger 9 Pro is designed for a quick release because this game can change in an instant. CCM, feel more.
With the JetSpeed FT8 Pro skates, speed comes from the right balance of technology, comfort, and determination, and a personal drive to continually outdo yourself. We are untouchable. Our eFlex 7 goalie equipment is designed so you can be quick and reactive, because all it takes is a split second for their highlight to become yours.
Saved by Demko.
We are stealing the show.
The CCM FTW skate is made for athletes. It is specially built for women, by women, so while it's designed for all women's feet, it's also tailor-made for you. CCM, we are hockey.
Leaders may be born, but breaking records comes from the quickest release. The Ribcore Trigger 10 Pro provides effortless loading for a stealthy shot, perfect if you want to outdo yourself this year. We are goal scorers.
Did you know there are 218,952 female hockey players in the world? They all have their own strengths, their own ambitions, their own styles, and they all need their equipment to fit their way. No two are exactly alike. That's why CCM designs and develops equipment for each one of them. Because they all have their own feel for the game. CCM, feel more.
Welcome back to IceHQ, where we are watching a thriller between the Melbourne Ducks and the Perth Inferno, just about to start the second period in a couple of moments. At the end of the first, we're all tied up at 1 goal apiece. Early on, Sarah Salmons got a beauty of a power play goal from Scarla and Bailey. That was 15 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the first. And then Jelena Grogovic squared it up to the enormous delight of the local crowd here at IceHQ with just over 7 minutes and a smidge to go, with a lovely piece of play from the defensive zone, cut through the neutral zone and created a great shooting lane for herself and exposed what weaknesses the Inferno may have in their defence at times. Certainly the Inferno with the ice sloping most of the way to them, 17 shots to 7, so significant out shooting, but a very positive period there for the Ducks, especially in the latter half of that period when they picked up their confidence. And they did show, Gossie, that there is some weaknesses in the Inferno structure. What did you notice?
Well, I think we saw the Ducks kept the legs moving, and we spoke about it pre-game, needing to pressure the Inferno defenders, and that's exactly what happened, right? They started the forecheck, and it wasn't just one player like we saw yesterday. It was the whole line forcing them to make that right pass. And there were a number of those errant passes in the neutral zone, which allowed players like Hollier to pick it up and recycle, and the Ducks to get some offensive opportunity. The other thing, shots on net, right?
We're ready. Key. If you don't shoot it, it's not going, for sure. And they later on, with only a minute or so to go in the first, there was a 4-on-1 breakaway opportunity for the Ducks. Now that's certainly exposing that the Inferno, we know that they're very attack heavy. They like to commit a lot in attack, and that plays a lot of benefit. You can score a lot of goals, but if you get someone gets behind you, then you're in deep trouble. And that's certainly something that we've seen from the Inferno in the games they've played throughout the season so far, is they love to shove everyone forwards and contest everything and get really aggressive on the forecheck. But if it gets behind you, you're in trouble. So we'll be interested to see how the second one pans out. Can the Inferno pour on a bit more pressure, or can the Ducks get one back? Or do we end up still at 1-1 at the end of the second? We'll remain to be seen on that one. We're about to have the players back on the ice now. So Davis-Tope's done a pretty good job in the net for the Ducks, but so too in the net, Sasha King has been great as well, just with the one from Grgovic getting past her.
16 saves so far for Davis-Tope. I will say the Ducks' defensive zone structure has been a lot better. Not as many of those high danger opportunities like we saw yesterday. But when Davis-Tope has been called into action, she's made the save, she's been able to cover it, not too many rebounds. The Ducks will need to build on that first period. As you know, I'm sure the coach of the Inferno would say we need to turn it up a notch.
Yep, we'll watch them to come out in the first couple of minutes, 10% quicker. See how that one works. But, certainly we do know that that attack-heavy mindset that they have, it's great and it's very entertaining. But if they get behind you, then you are exposed, and that's when you do create those breakaway opportunities. And if you know much about the statistics of hockey, the most likely chance to score a goal is from a breakaway. Roughly 1 in 5, pretty much across all levels of hockey, from beginners all the way through to the elite. Roughly 1 in 5 breakaways turns into a goal. So you want to prevent breakaways and you want to generate them.
So if we're about to start the second period after the first intermission, brought to you by Moat Mental Health and Authentic Asia, some of the sponsors here that allow us to continue playing this great game here at in Melbourne. And the face-off will be, like it was in the first, the captain, Lucy Parrington, up against the leading point scorer for the season, Sarah Salmons, and that was won by the Ducks captain. Puck in the Duck zone, it's Grkovic who got tied up there with Clark Crumpton. The puck's just still in the corner, who is going to come out with it. It's Scala tied up there with Parrington. Grkovic now will pick up the loose puck and look for a stretch pass to find Ebony Rama. It bounces off the leg, though, of Webb, and Rama now will take it into the far side corner. She's tied up. The puck comes loose for Prosek. Watched by 3 Inferno players. She goes behind the net, finds Rama, who runs into Georgia McLennan. Loose puck collected, intercepted now by captain Lucy Parrington. Couldn't get that one deep, and now Clark Crumpton will send a stretch pass for Salmons, who just knocks that into the offensive zone as the Inferno make their first change of the second period.
Stringer having to race back in a hurry to pick up that puck as the forechecking pressure was coming on from the Inferno.
Parrington goes cross ice looking for Prosek, who chips it up looking for Green. It's intercepted by Bailey, who now stretches it forward to Noddle. She's 1-on-2, winds, takes a shot, it knocks off the leg of Stringer and goes wide. Grkovic watched there, leaves it, and picks up the loose puck herself. She'll stretch it, it hits Green, but icing will be waved off.
Lucky there, Stringer had been out on the ice for a long time. She was very desperate to get a change.
Nelson took a shot, and that went right into Webb, who was sprawling. It's going to be kept in by Green, who chips it over to Nelson. She'll wind, take a shot, and a kick save there by King. Noddle with it now, being watched by Nelson. She'll rim it up on the wall. It's going to be kept in by Hollier, who is tied up by Malcolm and eventually brought out of the zone by Lakuviak, who now enters it to the offensive foray. Stick save there by Davis-Tope. Gets it over to Green, who sends it across to Newman. She'll chip that off the wall and misses everyone, so the Ducks won't be able to change, and the face-off will come back into the defensive zone here for the Melbourne team.
Was a chip under a lot of pressure. Not sure she might have necessarily realised where she was relative to the centre line. But fling the puck away, and back you come, no changes. So some tired legs out there for the Ducks on this particular little interview. They'll be looking to get the puck up the ice as quickly as they can and get a change.
Face-off won by the Inferno. It's chipped back behind the net. Hollier, the Kiwi international, chips it over to the wall for Green. She's tied up by the Inferno, and it now comes out for Ryland, who had to turn away from the forecheck there of Garbett. She gets it back to the point for McLennan, who takes a shot, and that just missed wide.
Looking for a tip that wasn't going to go into the net. Looking for a good re-angle, but no Inferno there could get it.
Cooper keeps it in momentarily, but now it comes out through the stick of Nelson, who sends that deep, and the Ducks now will get that change after being stuck out on the icing. Cooper can't get it past Yates. Yates will look to center it, Cashin in front of the net. Yates still with it, gives it to the point for Johnson, who activates. She's tied up by Garbett, and Reeder comes in and can't clear it as the back check of Yates keeps it in the offensive zone. Reeder stick checked again by Yates. Johnson ties up her teammate, but out with it now is McLennan as she skates right past Cashin and comes into the offensive zone. A nice move, Wine shot, and a glove save, and a beauty by Jade Davis-Tope as she leaves it there for her teammate, as there were no offensive players in the zone there for the Inferno.
Not sure everyone realised the puck wasn't dead.
Bailey with a shot, and that deflects wide. Oh, a wraparound coming around, a kick save there by Davis-Tope. The puck's still loose in the slot. Salmons comes in, another shot. Davis-Tope down, and Braun Cashin picks up the puck. Ducks still not able to get it out of the zone, and Bailey shoots that wide. Salmons, fresh, tried to drop it for Webb. A little bit of miscommunication there, and it comes out in the neutral zone. It's funny, Carl, how often when a goalie makes a glove save like that, you expect the whistle, you don't know what happens, you drop it down, and the pressure just continues. So here comes Clark Crumpton, fresh off a hat trick. Wine shoots and shoots that wide left side.
Clark Crumpton with the golden opportunity there at the D-force to cover the pass.
Another shot and a deflection, and they score! A great shot off the point there by Bailey. And right there in the slot area was the Inferno forward, Clark Crumpton, who gets her 4th goal of the weekend.
I think that all stems from that little bit of the earlier save that Davis-Tope did on the rush. It was a last line of defence, a beautiful glove save, and then a bit of hesitation from everyone. They weren't exactly sure what had happened, and I think there was a bit of a mental reset that went on, and it just allowed that bit of confusion in defence in the end and sustained pressure, finally allowing the Inferno to bang that one in. So we have 2 goals from 22 to the Inferno, with 15 and 52 to go in the second.
Another one of those plays, the Inferno so far for the teams we've seen here at IceHQ, the absolute best at it. Getting it back to the point, a shot to the slot area, and a forward just there with stick on the ice, ready for the deflection as Clark Crumpton gets her 9th goal of the season.
It's a simple play, but so very effective.
Puck kept in momentarily. It was Prosick who was looking to give it to Parrington. It was knocked off her stick and now collected by Grakovic. She chips that wide off the skate of McLennan. Parrington leaves it there. Rama collects it. It's loose, and the captain here for the Ducks will now enter the offensive zone. Here on the left wing, Wines takes a shot straight into the leg there of McLennan. It squirts out, so Grakovic just forced to regroup and allow her teammate to tie up, and she sends that deep.
A lovely cross-ice option there by Grakovic, buying her team time to get in deep on the forecheck.
Green, fresh off the bench, makes a move and knocked down by McLennan, and we're going to have a penalty here to the Inferno defender, and the Ducks will go to their first power play of the game.
Cleveland doing 2 for the trip in that instance, and we're interesting to see now the Ducks yesterday missed Grakovic, who was so effective on the blue line for the power play. Watch her to float around high, and they'll try and get the puck to her as many times as they can. We know she's got a howitzer on the end of that stick. If she can make it fire, they get the puck to her cleanly, it'll be good. A very important face-off taking place now.
Nelson wins it back to Hollier. She'll look, take a shot. It's looking for a deflection by Prosick. It's loose. That goes wide, and Cooper rims it around. McKenzie will pick that up and send that back, and Hollier just looking to quarterback this over to Parrington, who takes it back over her own blue line, sends it over to the Ducks goal scorer Grakovic, who finds the other import there in Hollier. Garbett broke that up, but could only get it as far as the Ducks blue line as they look to regroup. Parrington moved to get around McKenzie. sends it over to Hollier. She enters the zone, just looks to chip it wide. It comes loose for Parrington. Walks, takes a shot, deflected. It's loose. They shoot, they score! The Ducks answer on the power play through Prosick, and the game is tied here. What a goal!
Lovely play there by the Ducks setting that one up. It all came through the neutral zone when the Inferno, obviously on the penalty kill, they're having to wait and see what got set up, and keeping a close eye on Krakovic all the time because they know that she's got that incredible shot. Does create space for the other players. Prosick sneaks in, gets into the slot, sit down on the ice, and if you put the puck there, sooner or later magic will happen. And on that occasion, it most certainly did. It got tangled up in everyone's feet, and all King could do was watch that one go past.
So the Ducks answer on the power play, now 1-for-1. The game's tied again here as we reach the 6-minute mark of the second period. It's rimmed around. Clark Crumpton, who scored the previous goal there for the Inferno, gets it over to Scala, who now enters the zone. A nice move around the defender, takes a shot right into the logo of Davis Tope as she covers up.
Davis Tope making that one safe, and a good opportunity there for her just to settle it down. Give the Ducks a bit of time to get their composure. The Inferno will come out hot, trying to get at a retaliatory goal straight away, and the Ducks just need to keep their composure.
Salmons facing off against Green. Face off one. Bailey takes another shot, deflects right onto the stick of Scala, but she was just handcuffed there. She'll curl now in the corner. She'll go across looking for her captain, who will wind, take a shot, looking for a deflection. That rings right off the iron. Newman looked to go cross ice for Rama. Bailey just chips it forward to Clark Crumpton, who tried to get it past Green. She rims that back, couldn't get it to a teammate though, as Salmons gets it back to Bailey. She hit a teammate, hand is up, so we'll have a penalty. And this time it's going against the Ducks, and it's going to Briar Johnson, who is now up to 18 penalty minutes so far this season.
Briar, I think, probably wouldn't necessarily regret that one. Got to be up for the push and shove in that area on the ice, but deservedly so will be sitting the two.
After a long shift, the second power play unit is now going to be out for the Inferno. They are 1-for-2 so far, and they're looking to answer after the Ducks just scored a power play goal. Grakovic has it behind the net. She's tied up there, kicks it over to the loose area. It was picked up there by Malcolm. And she and McKenzie just play catch there in the far corner. Centering pass, not able to be connected by Cooper, and it comes loose and just past the blue line as Lukoviak just tries to stick handle that, got caught offside.
Yeah, just crossed the line, but the referee right there, of course, will see that one. With 1 minute and 33 seconds to go on the Johnson penalty, we are all tied up at 2 goals apiece. 24 shots to 10. As the offside face-off is taken.
Cooper has it here as she enters the zone. Face off back down, centering pass there, dangerous. It comes out there, a shot on a save, Davis Tope. Rebound was there momentarily, but it was picked up by Nelson, and she sends that out in the neutral zone, and the Ducks able to kill some precious time off this penalty.
Nice well-timed backhand lob there by Nelson, getting that puck out. Gets another chance to dump it in.
Puck just tied up there. Rama runs into Lukoviak. It's on the stick now of Scala as the first power play unit comes out on the ice. Salmons with a shot. That goes wide. Clark Crumpton chips it back to Salmons. She has it in the near side corner. Gives it back to the point. McLennan with a shot. Bounces off somebody in front. It's loose. Down is Davis Tope. Where's the puck? It's behind the net. So Scala with it, being watched by Hollier, gets it back to McLennan. She goes D to D. It's Bailey with a shot, and that goes wide. It rims all the way around and out into the neutral zone, and McLennan forced just to regroup here for the Inferno.
Just 20 seconds to go on the penalty.
Salmons leaves it there for Bailey, goes over to McLennan. She'll wind, take a shot, save there. Davis Tope, and able to keep that there and cover as the Inferno were looking to pounce on the rebound.
15 seconds to go on the penalty. A good kill so far for the Ducks. A bit of neutral zone pressure. Some good play. Interesting to see the exchanges by the Inferno, bringing on that number one line halfway through the power play, perhaps trying to break up the Ducks' kill. But on this occasion, they're up to the challenge thus far. Johnson will be back out on the ice in 15 seconds and possibly sneaking in behind the Inferno defense. We'll see how that one pans out.
Face off won by the Inferno, though it comes back to Webb with a shot and a toe save there by Davis Tope. Puck now back to Cooper. She takes a shot. No, a deflection just wide as that was McKenzie in front of the net. Johnson back out on the ice. Power play over. The Ducks now kill their second of 3. Cooper back with it on the point. Takes another shot and that deflects wide. Webb again keeps it in. So power play over, but the Inferno still with the offensive zone pressure. Parrington comes in and just pushes it over. She'll battle with McLennan. Puck centered, intercepted by Newman, who'll just chip it forward to Green as Webb not able to keep it away. So the Ducks in now. Newman going to the net. Green just couldn't center it. Cooper ties up Newman. 2 Inferno players there. Green comes in for support now, does center it. It comes back to Grkovic, who takes a shot and that deflects just wide.
Grkovic beautifully positioned. She was just waiting for that puck to come into the high slot.
Nelson had it knocked off her stick there by Reeder, and the Ducks now forced to regroup in their zone. Johnson goes D to D to Grkovic. She'll wind, take a shot, and shoot that right in the back of Cashin, but it works. Centering pass there for Prosick, looking for her second, as she wasn't able to get that one on target. You can see the goal's gone to the legs of Prosick. The extra forecheck here. Cashin ties up Reeder, chips it forward. Lekuviak able to get it over to Noddle. They get it out now, the Inferno. Grkovic steals it, chips it forward to Nelson. Now in on the left wing, takes a shot, deflects off the stick of Bailey. Nearly handcuffed King, but just went over the net.
That one looked like it had gone in, but obviously it didn't, but certainly from our angle.
The Inferno now through their captain Bailey, chip it out into the neutral zone. Niamh Gallagher will pick it up at the Ducks blue line and chip that over to Yates. She gets it up to Parrington. A hand is up for offside, so the Ducks forced to tag up, and Bailey now with plenty of space sends the stretch pass for Salmons. Great hand-eye there to catch that on the blue line, but wasn't able to get any speed, and now the Ducks come the other way through Yates. Big smile on her face as she comes in on the Inferno captain, but the Inferno captain with a great stick negates that chance. Scala drops it for Clark Crumpton, who winds. Nice pass for Salmon. Shoot! Save Davis Tope. Puck's loose and able to get the glove on it as Jade Davis Tope makes her best save so far of the game.
A pretty important one there, Gossie, but I think the glove save she might have made earlier was a pretty good one as well on that break. She's been effective so far, Davis Tope, with 29 shots on her for just the 2 goals. It's a pretty good save percentage. She'd be pretty happy with that. So far, she's on a save percentage of .931, which is excellent.
Salmons wins that face-off, and Cooper shoots that in, and it hit the side netting. Tran chips that on the wall. It's tied up now in the corner. It's still with the Ducks, though, and they send it over to the near side. It's kept in by Salmons, who cycles it down to Scala, who walks out. McLennan calls for it. She gets it. She winds. She shoots, and a block and arm save there. Davis Tope, and the hands up. So we're going to have a penalty this time going to the Inferno. So the Ducks, fresh off their first power play goal of the game earlier in the period, will go to their second power play of the game.
A chance to wind it up. The cannon of Grkovic has had a bit of time to freshen up on the bench. She wasn't out for the last shift, so she'll be out on this one, no doubt.
And that's one of those penalties that the coach just hates. An offensive zone penalty, and elbow there to the Inferno player.
Just a little bit careless.
And the Ducks now will put out their first power play unit as Parrington will face off against Garbett. Parrington wins it back to Grkovic. She's got a little bit of space, elects to set this up. She'll give it down to Prosick on the near wall. Gives it back to Jelena Grkovic, who walks the line, winds, takes a shot, and that goes high and wide. Rama gets it back to Hollier, who just drops it for Grkovic, who now activates. She's being watched carefully there by McKenzie. Goes over to Prosick, will wind, take a shot right into the chest there at King, and she covers up as Parrington was looking for a rebound.
So smart play there. The Inferno, they worked out that Grkovic has to be watched, so they're keeping a close eye on her, not giving her any lanes, because that does open up opportunities for the other Ducks forwards to start flinging the puck into the slot and trying to generate rebounds and tips. And that's exactly what they did in this case, though. Sasha King able to make the save safely, but another reset for the Ducks, another chance to do it again.
Another face-off win there. It comes across to Hollier, who will give it back to Grkovic. Back to Prosick as the Ducks goal scorers play catch on the line. It comes across to the Kiwi International here, Hollier. Watching it is Hollier. She'll drop it for Grakovic. And she's tied up by Malcolm. There's going to be another penalty now, and it's going to be for body contact, and the Ducks are going to go to a 5-on-3 here. 12 minutes and 5 seconds into the second period.
So, I was on that Isla Malcolm being escorted over to the naughty corner for 2. So as you say, Gossi, it'll be 5-on-3 for 1:14. Great opportunity now for
or if you're
the
a Ducks
Dogs.
fan, for a little bit less, right? So 2-2 game here.
I don't think anyone's taking bribes.
The Ducks on to their second 5-on-3 power play. They did have one against Adelaide last time out. Weren't able to score on it, but looking a lot better with the power play so far here tonight. Here's Hollier with plenty of space. Will walk into the high slot area. She'll just elect to defer to Grakovic. Now she'll wind, send it over to Nelson, who will look to go across, but not the right decision there as Scala intercepts that and sends that down the length of the ice to the Inferno change.
Just a little bit casual there, the Ducks with the 5-on-3. They want to get the aggression up a little bit higher and more motion.
Nelson chips it up to Prosic. She had the previous power play goal. Grakovic now enters the offensive zone. She's got Parrington on the point. Will take it onto the wall, wind, now give it back to the captain. She's got Hollier as well as Grakovic back. Elects to drop to Grakovic, who is looking for a shooting lane. Drops for Hollier now. High slot. Takes the shot off a skate. Is loose. King is down. The glove is on the puck as 3 Ducks players look to pounce there.
Good face-off wins for the Ducks. These last couple have been critical for them, and Parrington's been taking them, which has allowed them to get that clean puck possession. A little bit casual early on that 5-on-3. They've got 21 seconds of it to go on the Clark Crompton penalty before they go to 5-on-4.
So change
for
here.
another minute.
Second unit on. Briar Johnson on the point with Tran. Newman out with Rama and Green.
Yeah,
Cooper sends that up. It just handcuffs Tran there on the line, so the Ducks forced to regroup in the neutral zone.
Critical face-off win there for the Inferno. They needed that one.
Briar Johnson enters the zone. 10 seconds remaining on the first penalty. Johnson has it in the corner. Walks around, looks to center. It is loose, but Noddle picks it up and she'll rim it around. Out is Clark Crumpton, so it's a 5-on-4 now as the Inferno kill off the first of 2. A centering pass across. Tran will pick it up. Fans on that. It'll go into the corner. Newman will battle with Cooper, and Cooper will clear that down the length of the ice.
Just under 30 seconds to go now on the second penalty. Ducks with a numerical advantage. The Inferno changing. The Ducks can get the puck up ice quickly.
Johnson skates into the neutral zone. She's being watched by Scala. Takes it wide, looking for a centering pass. Fanned on that. Green was looking for it in the slot, and that's sent down the length of the ice. And look at the Jets as Sarah Salmon's coming in on Hollier. Hollier being chased. Chips it forward. Stopped by Johnson, and that kills the second penalty. So the Inferno able to kill the 5-on-3, and this remains a 2-all game with just over 5 minutes remaining here in the second period.
That was a key face-off win earlier. Absolutely critical for the Inferno. They needed to get that one.
Salmon overs to Clark Crumpton. She's in. Already 1 goal so far tonight. Takes a shot. It's gloved down there by Hollier. Stolen, though, by Salmon. Support, though, by Johnson, and the puck's just pinned up in the corner. The Inferno come out with it through Scala, and it's knocked off her stick. But the Inferno collect through Salmon's. Tie up here in the corner. Salmon's, Parrington. Salmon still with it. Has it on the backhand. Tries to turn away from the Ducks captain. Looked to center that, but it was intercepted by Hollier. Salmons, though, gets it behind the net. It's still on the stick of the Inferno. Back there for Webb, who takes a shot, and that goes wide. Salmons regroups that behind the net. The Inferno start the change. Bailey winding, taking a shot. Kick save there by Davis Tope onto a teammate, and now the Ducks will look to exit, but send it right back to the Inferno captain.
This is the sort of play we saw from the Inferno yesterday, a lot of that sustained forward pressure.
Bailey deep in the offensive zone. Gets it back to Webb. Able to keep it in. Chips it forward to Noddle, who will cycle it down there for Malcolm. Malcolm in front to Noddle, and just couldn't get a stick on it as she was tied up there by Hollier. Ducks do get it out, but The Inferno now will activate through McLennan. Ooh, a nice toe drag, creates some space, winds, shoots, and that one goes over the bar.
So forced out to a wide angle. Ducks were changing at the time. It was good timing for the Inferno move. And this is the play we saw a lot from them yesterday. Massive sustained zone time, and the Ducks
some
just dumping.
great individual effort here by Grkovic as she skates past 3 Inferno players. Now elects to send it over to Green, and Green just couldn't stay on side.
You see she was desperately trying to do an inline stop on the blue line. The front foot was too far across, but Grkovic just couldn't quite get the puck to her cleanly. But the last couple of minutes there, great play by the Inferno. What we saw a lot from them over yesterday in particular, with that sustained pressure, forcing the puck in and forcing the Ducks to collapse really deep, which gives their D an awful lot of time and space to activate.
So as we enter the late stages of the second period, both teams 1 for 3 on the power play, and it's a 2-all game. Puck deep, it's picked up. A centering pass was intercepted there by Newman. She's tied up on the wall, not able to get it out as Bailey chips it into the near side corner. It's going to be picked up by Garbett. A centering pass misses everyone, but again, Bailey there on the point sends it deep again into the Duck zone. Another centering pass. Davis Tope down, and it was the Inferno player there. It was McKenzie there looking to pounce, but Davis Tope was able to cover.
McClellan in there as well for the Inferno, just getting herself back on her feet too.
Close one there. It was a great play by Garbett. Nearly got Davis Tope on the wrong side, but she was able to make a nice power push from right to left and get the pad down to make that save.
Just over 3 minutes to go in the second. We're all tied up 2 goals apiece. Inferno out shooting the Ducks roughly 2-1.
Cooper sends it up there for McKenzie. Chipping it in for Garbett. First to it, though, will be the Ducks through Hollier. She turns away from Garbett. Still with it, Hollier. Chips it forward. No Ducks player. Cooper activates, takes a shot, and a blocking arm save there by Davis Tope. Garbett over to Reeder, who centers that. It goes right through the crease and out into the neutral zone, and the Inferno will be forced to regroup as Cooper goes over to her captain, Bailey. Reeder has it stolen off her stick by Wilkinson, but Salmon's fresh off the bench, was able to collect the loose puck, and the Inferno shoot that in through Cooper, and they start the rest of the change.
Fresh legs on for the Inferno. Just while the Ducks need to get the puck out cleanly if they can. This is where occasionally they've been caught just a little bit slow with their puck handling, a bit casual. And as a result, the turnover.
Ooh, nice skating there by McLennan, creates some space, but a good poke check by Hollier broke that one up at the line. Commentators curse as McLennan then takes a little bit of a tumble, but it's on the stick of Salmons. She winds, takes it wide, still with it. Salmons curls away from Hollier. She's got Webb on the point, but sends it back behind the net for Scala. Scala tied up there by Hollier. In comes the support in Nelson, but the Inferno still have it, and a centering pass misses everyone and goes down the length of the ice.
It's going to make it for no icing the call. Looked like it might have been.
McLennan plays catch with her D partner. Webb chips it up there for Malcolm. Salmons now with it at the center ice dot, will skate in with speed. Gets around Johnson. Couldn't find the centering pass, and now Salmons will go off for a change. Inferno keep it in. It's in the corner now through Malcolm. Bailey activates off the point, and centering pass stopped and gloved down by Johnson, and if she can find Parrington, the Ducks might be able to go the other way.
It's going to be a penalty there on a interference there on Parrington. So as soon as the Inferno touch up, they pulled the goalie of the Ducks, but Inferno get possession. Parrington getting a pretty decent shove in the numbers. So the penalty will go to the Inferno. The Ducks will have the numerical advantage for at least the end of this period. 1 minute and 5 seconds to go in the second.
So another power play here for the Ducks. It'll be their 4th opportunity of the afternoon. They're 1 for 4, and just fresh off a 2-player advantage where they weren't able to score on the Inferno.
Malcolm doing 2 there. It's her second penalty for the game.
Cooper sends that high over the outstretched arm of Grkovic. Hollier, though, will be chased there by McKenzie. Grkovic just couldn't corral that one, and the Ducks just forced back into their zone again. McKenzie, the 1-player forecheck, starts here for the Inferno. Grkovic back to Newman, chips it, an errant pass right to the captain of Bailey, and she'll just send that down the length of the ice and kill some more seconds off here late in the second.
Just on 30 seconds now to go in the period.
Oh, Garbett steals that off Hollier, gets it back to Cooper. She takes a shot, deflects wide into the corner off Scala. That looks a bit painful. So the Ducks now able to clear it. It's green, and an errant pass is going to go down the length of the ice, and that's going to be icing. Tough one there for the Ducks. I mean, you had one player, a little bit injured, Scala, going to the bench. You could have had a numerical advantage more than just the one-player power play, but an errant pass goes down, and that's another one the coach hates, an icing on the power play.
Scala still on the ice, but looking to try and get off. Certainly that would have stung some. She makes her way off the ice now, looking a bit ginger.
So we got 14.
She's okay.
14 seconds remaining here. It's a big face-off win for the Ducks. If Salmons can win this, they can get an opportunity shorthanded. It's a face-off that's corralled here by Grkovic behind the net. 8 seconds remaining. One last opportunity for the Ducks if they can be quick. Krosick misses Newman, and that'll just come deep into the Inferno zone, and that'll be it for the second period as we're all knotted up at 2.
Great entertaining period there for all of us. Goal early on to Elizabeth Scala from Bailey and Clark Crompton with just over 15.5 minutes to play in the first, which gave the Inferno back the lead. And then Vicky Prosek from Parrington on the power play evened it all up just over a minute after that. And it's been a pretty dour struggle since then. A much bigger, much better improved performance by the Ducks today, showing that the Inferno do have some weaknesses. And certainly they do like to pinch up and get very attack heavy. So at the end of the second, the Ducks will be starting the third with Isla Malcolm sitting at 55 seconds of a penalty, and it's all tied up at 2 goals and a piece. Back with you in 8 minutes.
It's a gift. And it's a thief. It heals. It teaches. And it can be on your side. It can even fly. We can try to get ahead of it. But it marches on. Time. It can be measured in eras and accomplishments and historical milestones. CCM measures time by its impact. We are the past. We are the future. CCM, we are hockey.
truly focus in this game, you have to block everything else out and embrace the familiar. At CCM, the Ribcore Trigger 9 Pro is designed for a quick release because this game can change in an instant. CCM, feel more.
With the JetSpeed FT8 Pro skates, speed comes from the right balance of technology, comfort, and determination, and a personal drive to continually outdo yourself. We are untouchable. Our eFlex 7 goalie equipment is designed so you can be quick and reactive, because all it takes is a split second for their highlight to become yours.
Saved by Demko.
We are stealing the show.
The CCM FTW skate is made for athletes. It is specially built for women, by women, so while it's designed for all women's feet, it's also tailor-made for you. CCM, we are hockey.
Leaders may be born, but breaking records comes from the quickest release. The Ribcore Trigger 10 Pro provides effortless loading for a stealthy shot, perfect if you want to outdo yourself this year. We are goal scorers.
Did you know there are 218,952 female hockey players in the world? They all have their own strengths, their own ambitions, their own styles, and they all need their equipment to fit their way. No two are exactly alike. That's why CCM designs and develops equipment for each one of them, because they all have their own feel for the game. CCM, feel more.
Welcome back to IceHQ. We are being privileged to watch an absolute thriller between the Ducks and the Inferno. We're all tied up at the end of the second, 2 goals apiece. The Ducks fans are daring to think maybe they could even win this one. It remains to be seen. They'll need a bit of luck. The Inferno out shooting is currently 33-15, so roughly 2-1 shots more on the net. They will be starting, however, the Inferno with Malcolm sitting 55 minutes of penalty remaining for her. She'll be sitting in the box, so the Ducks will be starting on a 5-on-4 power play for the first just under a minute of the game. Goals so far to Salmons and Krakovic in the first, and then Scala and Prosic in the second, keeping it all squared up at 1 goal apiece. Both 2 power play goals, 1 to Salmons and 1 to Prosic. And the second half of that second period, we saw a lot of the sort of play that we've seen from the Inferno yesterday, that sustained forecheck, forcing the Ducks to collapse in very deep and thus giving their defensive players a lot of space. But we've also seen occasionally they've been overcommitting in attack and letting the Ducks get behind them and complete rush opportunities as well. So at the moment, it's a game, Gossy.
Yeah, each week we talk about what the Ducks can learn as they enter this league for the first time this season. And you remember last week, or last time out, we saw the Ducks in a similar position. They entered the third period with a chance to potentially get a result. They ended up taking that one to overtime, right? And they lost in overtime. But let's see if they can learn from that and continue that and go one better. Because you know this Inferno team, coach is going to be in the room saying, guys, start early. Let's end this now, right? Let's not give them any sprinkle of hope. Whereas if you're Jeremy Muir of the Ducks, you're saying keep doing what you're doing. We got to keep the pressure on, keep the legs moving, get the shots on, crash the net, and try to get some rebounds. I must admit, though, King's been pretty good at covering those up when the Ducks do get the other way.
There hasn't been any rebound opportunities from her at all, except on that power play. But the Ducks will need to make sure they're winning those individual battles. They are still noticeably at times significantly slower with their decision-making with the puck, especially in defence under pressure. And if the Inferno can capitalise on that and keep more sustained zone time, then their style of game is very much just keep the puck in those high-risk areas and generate opportunities. And that's what they did so well yesterday. The Ducks will need to get the puck out cleanly and quickly, but more than anything else, they have to get and win those individual battles, which we saw the Inferno do so well yesterday and through most of today as well. The Ducks will need a bit of luck if they can do it, but 20 minutes, we'll know.
Yeah, interesting little bit of a change here to the power play as the Ducks are going 4 forwards with Grakovic and Rama on the back. But I must say, I played with Rama before in the IceHQ Victoria. She is a great defender there, and they'll be looking to pounce early here in the third period as the game is all knotted up. And check out that play as we see Nelson and Salmons facing off at center ice here at IceHQ.
Nelson just chipping the puck forward into the empty space. It's not a bad play. The Inferno with all of their players stacked up on the left-hand side, which leaves a lot of room, and you can just see Nelson on the forehand chipping the puck ahead to Prosic to try and pick it up. And now I think that the West Australians, and so the Perth team has worked that out. They've seen that she's kind of revealed a hand and does it the same thing again.
Yeah, puck sent forward and into the zone. It's Prosic who's chasing that. It's clear down there, and here again the speed of Salmons is going to get there first. Rama's going to watch her, though, tries to knock the puck off her stick. Salmons goes down, no penalty. Cooper, though, takes a shot deflected, and they score! Not the way you draw it up if you're the Ducks, but the Perth Inferno get a short-handed goal here, seconds into the first period, and they break the deadlock, now up 3-2.
So the Inferno, they're definitely trying to clip the wings of the Ducks, cut off their flight, and done so very successfully there indeed. The Ducks did the right thing from the chip forward, but just outpaced on that back check, and the speed of Salmons was just superb, and it just made the Ducks look like they were standing still. And that's where that speed comes in, and that's what we've seen from the Inferno. It was smart play initially from the Ducks, but then just outpaced.
So Ducks win that face-off. It's on the stick of Hollier. Grakovic calling for it. Still 30 seconds remaining on this power play as they look to tie the game. Green chips that in the corner. Newman will chase that. It's clapped across by Cooper, the goal scorer. The Ducks play catch. It's on the stick of Grakovic, who sends it back to Nelson, who winds, takes a shot saved there by King. Knocked down there is Green, and we're going to have another penalty to the Inferno as the Ducks are going to keep the power play going, and they'll be on a extremely short 6-second 5-on-3.
But it will be from an offensive zone face-off. They will need to be particularly careful when Malcolm comes straight back on. One of the Ducks there is going to need to sit back and keep an eye on it. Hellier is alert to the threat. I'm sure they've had a chance to glance at the scoreboard and say, well, hang on a sec, we're going to have a problem here if we let Malcolm get in behind us and go score a breakaway the other way. We've seen it happen more than once.
So the Ducks go back to the usual power play one. Nelson will face off against Noddle. She'll win that. Parrington will give it back to Hollier. She'll take a shot, looking for the deflection. It was intercepted by the Inferno. Malcolm is out, so it's now a 5-on-4, and it comes right onto her stick.
Not to say I told you so, but there it was.
Bouncer just goes wide. It's going to be picked up by Grakovic. She chips it over there to Hollier, who sends it up to the captain, Parrington. Ducks just looking on their own line, get it up there. It's Grakovic who's going to Drop that on the point. Prosic takes a shot, it deflects. A kick save there by King, and the Inferno clear that one down the length of the ice.
It was loose and tempting and high slot for a few seconds, but no one from the Ducks could get there in time to capitalise.
Prosic with it now, and her blue line fans on that, but it does get up to Nelson. She's watched by Cooper, who scored that shorthanded goal moments ago. Garbett just given plenty of time and plenty of space, and she'll kill off those seconds and just chip that over to the Ducks bench. And Hollier now sends an errant pass, intercepted by Garbett. Still with it for the Inferno, shorthanded. Nice little toe drag, takes a shot and rings that off the side of the net.
Just 45 seconds to go in the power play now.
Hollier just being watched there by Garbett. She patiently gets it across over to Grakovic, who winds, takes a shot, and hits that one just over the net.
This penalty killing unit for the Inferno has been out on the ice now for quite some time. They'll be getting tired.
Grakovic with it, leaves it for Hollier, gives it back to Grakovic, and takes a shot on high, glove down there by King.
22 seconds to go on the power play. The Inferno getting the changes that they needed. They've been stuck out for a while. In particular was Grace Garbett, who'd done a pretty decent attack, sprinted a couple of lengths of the ice, and you're going to be tachycardic there. You'll be relieved to be able to have a rest and bring on some changes.
Face off by Newman, chips it forward. The captain Bailey for the Inferno. It's a hard clear down the length of the ice, and here comes the speed again of Salmons. That's what activated the previous shorthanded goal. Back there, though, is Tran. She's tied up there by Salmons. 7 seconds remaining on the on the penalty, and with that, McLennan out of the box. So 5-on-5. The Ducks now go 1 for 5 on the power play. It's on the stick of Johnson, though. She brings that out into the neutral zone. Watched there by Clark Crumpton, just rubbed out on the wall. It's going to come on the stick of the 10-goal scorer, Salmons. She winds, takes a shot, a stick save high into the netting by Davis Tope as she makes her 32nd save of the game.
Tope there with an important one. It went high up and almost a souvenir for the fans standing behind the goal net. Not a bad place to be to watch the game.
So face off here to the left of the Ducks net. Yates loses that to Salmons. It's shot on by Webb and deflects off the stick into the chest of Davis Tope, and we'll do that all again.
So every one of these face-offs now is so important to both teams. The Ducks win it, they can reset and get a breakout and moving in a hurry, see if they can take advantage of that very aggressive.
Grakovic now taking the face-off, and she wins that one against Salmons, but Yates sent it to the point, and it was just shot back in there by the Inferno. Stringer looking for Yates. It bounces off the wall and into the neutral zone. McLennan, first one back for the Inferno. Dixon with the forecheck. Able just to force the Inferno back. They'll go D to D. It's now with Webb. Cashin keeps it in, only momentarily. It's pinned up there by Grakovic. She wins that battle. Nice little move, but a stick check there by Webb. Sends that down the length of the ice, and as Stringer gets back for the Ducks, we'll have a face-off in the Inferno zone against a tired group for the Inferno.
Yeah, they're stuck out. They were looking to get changes. In particular, you could see there was no forecheck on that one. I guess they knew that wasn't going to happen. Salmons, normally with electrifying speed, was ambling over to the bench to try and get a change. Stuck out there now. This is an opportunity for the Ducks if they can get early possession. They've got to win this face-off.
Parrington ties up. She comes out with it. It's loose there and still in the high slot area. Parrington's going to win that puck. She'll backhand that in right into the Inferno defender, though. Now the Inferno will get it out through Salmons, who got it over to Scala, not able to get it deep. Hollier, though, will lose it to Scala. And now Parrington with some space. So the Ducks can go the other way. There's too many players, but they get back on. Parrington takes a shot into the skates of Cooper, and Hollier tried to throw that on, but it was collected there by McLennan. Ryland keeps it in on the point. She activates into the wall. Scala watching her and stole the puck. The Inferno now through Noddle as the rest of the Inferno players change, streaking through the offensive zone. Blocked there by Nelson. Coming in is Lekuviak, who takes a shot and a save there by Davis Tope. Lekuviak back to Bailey, a shot deflected. And it's loose and now to the point, and Cooper misses it. Lekuviak in her own zone, watched there by Nelson. Loses that to the American, who centers it and just out of the reach of Green. Newman keeps it in on the point, cycles it to Green. She's rubbed off there by Cooper. who scored the first goal of this period, the one that makes it 3-2 right now. Johnson, a nice foray into the offensive zone, takes it wide on the forehand, looking to center it, brings it on the backhand. Nelson has it knocked off her stick by the Inferno captain.
3-on-2 now, Inferno, if they can make it happen.
Tran back for the Ducks, just being watched by Garbett. Rims it on the wall. Nelson picks it up, gets it out into the neutral zone. Green's chasing, but McLennan was able to get there first for the Inferno. Good pass, finds McKenzie, who chips it forward to Garbett. Centering it again, looking in front, a shot, save, puck's loose, and down is the glove by Davis Tope as McKenzie was there on the doorstep looking to pounce.
The golden opportunity there for the Inferno, 2-on-1 in the slot. Luckily for the Ducks, Davis Tope managed to get something onto it. And certainly overwhelmed there by numbers. Ducks, a good surge by the Inferno indeed. Prosic was lost a little bit early, needed to get a change in a hurry, which is why they didn't get to take advantage of an earlier rush.
Oh, a shot and a toe save there by Davis Tope off the stick of McKenzie. It cycles behind the net. Garbett just tried to chip it in front, is loose in the slot, comes back. McLennan with a shot, deflects wide. Wilkinson now has it on the far wall, looking to get around Webb, and does. It's a 2-on-1. Wilkinson with Cashin going to the net. Wilkinson just stick handles herself into some trouble, and the puck goes loose into the corner.
She had Cashin loose there. It was a good opportunity for the pass.
Grukovic just misses that. Reeder chasing. Reeder with it. Grukovic diving, shot on, and a blocking arm save there by Davis Tope. Aaron pass there by Yates, finds Webb, who runs into Cashin, and the Ducks now are going to have a penalty called against Cashin. The Inferno now with the extra skater on the ice, a poke there by Yates, and we'll have a Inferno power play. They'll be going to their fourth of the game, already 1 for 3 so far today.
Clock stops, 13:27 to go, 1 goal the margin. We've seen some pretty effective play, that early goal by Salmons on the power play way back in the first. But since then, the Ducks penalty kill has been effective. So too the Inferno with that 5-on-3, managing to get the Ducks out of that one as Cashin is forced to go and behave herself for 2 minutes.
If you're an Inferno fan, this is a crucial power play. If you're a Ducks fan, this is a crucial penalty kill. A 1-goal game here in the third period. It's on the point now with McLennan. She'll give it over to Scala, who will wind, take a shot, save there, Davis Tope. Hollier has it, can't get it out though as Scala keeps it on the half wall, gets away from the captain, Parrington. Clark Crumpton walks out of the corner, goes cross-ice looking for Bailey. It was just behind her, but she'll pick up that loose puck.
Bailey was beautifully positioned there.
And nice job there by Prosic, just forces the Inferno back into the neutral zone. McLennan with a nice move, still with it. Has Salmons on the point, will decide to trade there and give it over to her captain. Bailey looking for Salmons. It's loose in the skates of Hollier, who takes it into the corner, rims it across. Gallagher will be able to get some space, but a soft dump will just give it right back to the Inferno on the point. A one-timer shot deflects just wide as Davis Tope was looking at where that went. Bailey, the captain, now again drops it there for Scala, walks in, nice move, takes a shot and shoots that wide over the bar.
Good pressure by the Inferno so far on this one. Just under a minute now to go on this power play.
Bailey, watched by Parrington, just brings it. She'll play catch here with Scala here on the corner. Scala across over to McLennan. Back looking for Scala, but intercepted by Parrington, and the veteran will shoot that down the length of the ice, and the Ducks penalty killers get a much needed change with just over 30 seconds remaining in the Cashin penalty.
Been a bit lucky so far on the penalty kill the Ducks, but sometimes you need that little bit of luck.
Garbett enters the offensive zone. 24 seconds remaining on the power play, drops it to the point. Cooper, who has a shorthanded goal so far this period, gives it back to Garbett, back to Cooper. Cooper, back to Garbett. Garbett winds, and a deflection there by Hollier puts that wide. McKenzie behind the net now, walks out of the corner. Cooper's calling for it. McKenzie takes a shot, and a deflection just goes wide, and with that, Cashin X out of the box. She could have elected to go forward, but Green now will go in and take a shot and glove there by King.
I don't know if Bronwyn necessarily saw that. She was in a perfect position to launch into that attack and did what so many players do, is they come straight out of the penalty box and go and get a change. Opportunity lost there for the Ducks. Anyway.
So face off here to the left of Sasha King. It's Nelson facing off against Salmons. It's won by the Ducks. Green goes cross ice. A nice poke check there by Clark Crumpton, and here come the Inferno. Clark Crumpton, 1 goal so far, sends it for Scala, back to Salmon, shot blocked, rebound loose, puck still loose, down is Davis Hope, and they score! Scala on the doorstep, puts in the rebound, and the Inferno break out to the largest lead of the game, now up 4-2.
The Ducks' penalty kill was up to the task, but unfortunately, pretty much straight away afterwards, and back to 5-on-5, the Inferno shows us exactly what they can do. That rapid turnaround and flooding the zone, and they'll just get in. And Davis Tope that time not able to keep that one out. So as you say, Gossi, we're out to 4-2. 45 shots on the net for the Inferno. It's been a good third period for them so far. Ducks not able to capitalise and giving away a shorty on the power play earlier on. Still 11.5 minutes to go though. 2 goals, a dangerous lead.
So Elizabeth Scala gets her first goal of the game, 6th goal of the season, and 3rd goal so far of this weekend. It's on the stick of Jelena Grekovic, who had that knocked off by Malcolm. Grekovic tries to curl away from the Perth forecheck, and Noddle just throws that into an open wing. Tied up there was Noddle. It comes out into the neutral zone, and now Ebony Rama can skate onto it. Bailey's directing traffic. Ebony Rama takes a shot, blocked there by King. And the Ducks player Parrington knocked into the net, and we're going to have a penalty going the way of Malcolm, who's going to get her 3rd penalty of the game. And the Ducks now get their own all-important power play, trailing by 2 as we near the midway mark of the 3rd period.
This will be a crucial one for the Ducks. They've got to score a penalty. They've got to score a goal in this one to get themselves in it. Some ill-disciplined play there by Isla Malcolm. I think that one was a bit unnecessary, but maybe the Ducks can make them pay the price for it, or maybe we'll see them get another short-handed goal. We've seen the Inferno so good at that. They are starting that grinding game that they're so effective at doing. Ducks with possession now.
So the face-off was won by them, and it's Hollier on the point being watched by Garbett. It gets sent across over for Nelson, who gives it over to Grekovic. You know, she has a bomb, takes a shot, and a good save there by King as she covers up to negate any rebound opportunity.
Grekovic there saw a bit of net and had a lane and took the shot. It was the right thing to do, but the save there, excellent one by Sasha King, who has been superb throughout this game again. 19 shots on her for just the 2. Another key face-off.
Again won by the Ducks, but corralled by the winger and sent down the length of the ice by the Inferno. First back will be the Kiwi Hollier, watched there by McKenzie. She just leaves it for the captain, Parrington, who will collect speed behind the net and send that forward, but intercepted by Garbett. Great penalty kill by Garbett so far this period. And now Nelson will exit with speed. She's got Parrington, finds her. She'll look to drop it for Grekovic. Nelson, takes that behind the net.
Grekovic now with lots of space.
Gets it to Hollier, back to Nelson, walks off the wall, takes a shot, saved there by King. She collects the rebound though. Trying to keep it around the outstretched arm there of McLennan. It's Nelson with a shot, stolen by McLennan and cleared down the length of the ice.
Grekovic got just enough on that one to disrupt the dump. The Ducks getting fresh legs on.
Hollier trips up there, and Parrington comes in and picks up the loose puck. We've got 42 seconds remaining on the penalty, and a poor pass there intercepted by Cooper and just forced the Ducks back again into their zone. Oh, dangerous there by Hollier, and Davis Tope makes a big save.
Just,
Newman,
25
watched
seconds
by
to go on the power
Scala. Rama picks up that loose puck, looks to enter the offensive zone, gets it over to Green. She crosses the blue line, takes it wide. Bailey knocks it off her stick. Salmons just chips it forward to herself, and with that, the Inferno kill a few more seconds off this penalty with only 5 seconds remaining. So the Ducks moved to 1 for 6 on the power play, but it's Johnson into the offensive zone. Had it knocked off her stick by Bailey. A stretch pass over for Malcolm fresh out of the box. It hit her skate wrong side of center, and the Inferno won't be able to change as the Ducks will have an offensive zone face-off with 8 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in the third period, down by 2.
So 2 goals, that classical lead where it's just enough to get a little bit complacent, but I don't think we'll see that. The Inferno have been given a good challenge through the first 2 periods. I don't think they'll be sitting on their heels and thinking they've got that 1-1 until the final siren.
Face-off won, but it's tied up on the wall. Cooper comes out with it, and she'll just rim it back behind her own net to the Aaron corner. Salmons will pick it up, but tied up there by Yates or Cashin. The captain, Bailey, comes out 3 wide for the Inferno. Skates around Johnson, still with it is Bailey. Nice move, backhand, but couldn't get that on target. Cooper calling for it at the point. Bailey elects just to throw that in the corner for Malcolm. A centering pass squirts into the slot area. Bailey now winds, another deflection, and that deflects into the Aaron corner. Malcolm alone, still with it, centers it off the skate of Yates, and that'll go down the length of the ice. For McLennan. To Malcolm. Oh, bounces right over to Noddle, who will wind, take a shot, kick save, rebound there, off the bar! No goal! The Inferno thought they had it, but it bounced right off the crossbar, a goalie's best friend, and this stays a 4-2 hockey game.
Just a little bit of miscommunication there by the Ducks on the retrieval of the puck and some mishandling. They're getting pretty tired, everyone, and the whistle will go once more for another penalty.
Oh, we got a little bit of extra action in front of the Ducks net as Lakuviak was originally going for a penalty as she went after Hollier. Lakuviak with a big smile on her face, and Briar Johnson, you know, not going to back down from anything here, is going to sit for a penalty as well.
Happened after the whistle, so it will be 5-on-5, face off in the middle.
Wait and see what the officials call. So it sounds like, if I can hear this, we're going to have the original penalty called against Lakuviak and then some coincidental roughings. So it looks like it may, in fact, end as a 5-on-4 power play for the Ducks, but we'll wait to see what the final call is, as the officials still discussing the final play.
It's been a good period so far for the Inferno in terms of shots. They're out shooting the Ducks 15-5 in the third so far. They've had to deal with a few more penalties, and we're waiting to see exactly how that one pans out. But of course, the 2 goals, the critical statistic that really matters, and that is the goals on the short-handed goal, which was a ripper there to Aspen Cooper from Simmons and McClellan, and then Scala from Salmons and Clark Crompton, showing the power of that _1 line of the Inferno once more to take it out to a 2-goal lead there with just over 11 minutes to play. And so with 7 and a bit to go, the referee's just doing the final explanation, then we'll find out what's going on here ourselves.
So right now we've got 1 penalty up on the board, and that's a 2-minute penalty to Molly Lakuviak, as the officials explain this to the Perth and Ducks captains. Little snowball thrown by Sasha King as the Inferno trying to have a little bit of fun on the delay.
Discussion still ongoing.
Well, so far today, a much better game than we saw yesterday. The Ducks still have a chance with 7 minutes remaining. Nothing over just yet. Lots of discussion by the officials. But Perth starting to see this in this period, starting to see a lot of that same pressure we saw last time. Get it deep, grind down the Ducks defense. But if you're Jeremy Muir, I guess the question is, what do you do with the bench? You start to shorten it. You try to get one early.
Well, they've got to get a goal back in a hurry to get themselves back into the game. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. They've just put in a couple of extra seconds on the clock.
Oh, so I think they're going back, and they're actually having a discussion based on the previous shot, and it looks like they're actually calling that previous play a goal.
There you go. That's taken all of us by surprise.
Yeah. So with that, we actually have a goal to I'm not sure who it was that had that shot. They're going to show this here on the replay. The shot came in, right off the back netting and in. So great job by the referee team here to discuss with the officials, and we'll have that as a goal for the Inferno. Now up 5-2, but we will still have the penalty. So a 2-minute penalty to Lakuviak for the initial, and then a couple coincidentals for a bit of roughing. So the Ducks will be on a 5-4 power play here, albeit now one goal. One goal
underway again.
extra that they have to take.
A must-score power play now for the Ducks. If they don't get one now, they're going to be pretty much impossible to win the game, but they might be able to.
So here, down by 3, the Ducks must score on this power play.
Inferno, though, just doing what they've done so well. Dump the puck away and then apply forechecking pressure, and it's going into pressure, break it up is Garbutt. But just holding back this time, I think the Inferno realised that if they play their game and just stick to it without panicking, they'll win it.
Vukovic ties it up. Prosic picks up the loose puck now, takes it into the corner. Parrington supports behind the net, but Prosic dumped down there by the big Inferno defender. McLennan, nice little move, keeps it away from the Ducks captain. 2 Ducks players there, battle. It comes back to Vukovic. She's got Hollier and now finds her there on the point. Vukovic begging for the puck back, but Hollier just fans on that one and turns the Ducks back into their own zone. Here, a minute into the power play.
Fresh legs on for the Inferno, nicely timed on the change. It was a good dump and get fresh legs on, which is exactly what they do.
Hollier just in front of her bench, watched by Scala. Green calling for it, now gets it at the opponent's blue line. Drops it there, a high shot right into the mitt of Sasha King.
42 seconds to go on the Lukoviak penalty. It will be 5-on-5 when that one is dropped. And again, another absolutely critical face-off here for the Ducks. They've got to win this one. They've got to get puck back to Kukovic and get a shot on the net ASAP.
And I think I'd just like to commend the officials on that one. Good chat by all 3 of them there, and they got the right call in the end with that goal. So 5-2 game here, stolen by Salmons, but Kukovic able to keep it away from her as she gets tripped up there as Salmons apologizes, but it looks like it is going to be a penalty against Salmons as she tripped up the Ducks defender there in front of the bench.
So we're going to have another 5-on-3 for 24 seconds. Lukoviak will be sitting that one and 2 Salmons. A bit of heat coming into this game in the last couple of minutes. The 2 teams fairly desperate. The Ducks, someone's called a timeout.
Yeah, the Ducks there calling a timeout. I think they're just going to rest those 5 players as they know how important this next 24 seconds is. Ideally, you score in the first one, and then you still get the second power play. You get another one, then it's a 1-goal game.
And of course, if you're Inferno, you absolutely have to win the face-off and get the puck down the other end and turn them around and force them to go back and chase. So a key one once more. There's all these ones in the last few moments. Just a few seconds to go now on the timeout as Ducks coach Jeremy Moore just trying to give his charges some instruction as to how we're going to do this. But ultimately, it's pretty simple. Win the face-off and get shots on the net as quickly as you can. Because that's what their game plan has to be with in particular now with just 5.5 minutes to play. They've got to get those shots on the net fast and see if they can test out and get anything past Sasha King. They'd be looking for Kukovic with the cannon that she's got, but that said, if they can get the puck to anyone else, if Kukovic's being double marked, especially with the 5-on-3, then there are always opportunities, but they have to be careful with the puck and not throw it away and not get careless.
For those of you who were tuning in yesterday, it's also great to see Janelle Carson there on the bench as well, as we saw her exit the game with an injury in the first period.
Yeah, apparently she's okay, but obviously not playing today.
So face off here to the left of Sasha King as she dances there in the net. It's Nelson up against Noddle. Nelson wins that. It comes back to Grakovic, who's going to wind, take a shot, and hits Bailey in front. The puck's loose, back to Grakovic. She's going to take another shot and hit Bailey again. It's still loose, diving is Prosic. It's loose in the slot area. Nelson back to Grakovic, back to Nelson. Shot, and that just misses.
It's 4 seconds to go on the 5-on-3.
Hollier cycles that back down. It's now with Parrington. Reeder enters the zone. Parrington leaves it for Hollier. She's got Prosic in front of the net, elects to go, but a great stick check there by King allows Noddle to clear that down the length of the ice. Oh, dangerous there by Davis Tope as Reeder came in, but Kate got up and was able to clear that into the corner. Grakovic, watched by Reeder, turns around. There's a minute 12 left on the Salmons penalty. The Ducks now go down to 1 for 6. A shot on and a kick save there by King. Green picks it up and just chips that for Hollier to chase. McLennan, though, keeps that away from the Kiwi international, and Nelson now ties up the Inferno defender. With it is Nelson. Gukovic calling for it on the point. Nelson leaves it for Gukovic, who activates now, coming on the wall, gets it back to Nelson. Nelson winds, takes a shot, and that deflects into the corner. 36 seconds remaining here on the power play, and the Inferno clear that one down the length of the ice. Reeder, first to forecheck. Hollier gets it over to Gukovic, just bounces off her stick, and Garbett sends that in deep there.
The Ducks line in particular, Hollier's been out on the ice for a very long time, is turning into about a bit of a traffic cone. She's so tired. It's just 8 seconds to go on the Salmons penalty that the Inferno will be back to full strength very shortly.
So Gukovic gets it deep, and that will be it for the Ducks power play. They go for 1 for 7 so far tonight. It's with Ryland on the point. Takes a shot over. It was a shot pass, actually, over to Newman. Trans open on the point. Newman, though, tied up by the Inferno. And now they're going to come the other way through Salmons. Fresh legs, fresh out of the box. In. McKenzie goes to the net. Salmons centers it, and McKenzie couldn't get a stick on it. Puck tied up by Garbett, killing some precious seconds here for the Ducks. Green down. McKenzie centers it. Scala down. Davis Tope with the puck between her pads as she makes an important save here late in the third period.
Johnson and Vukovic back onto the ice now, or at least back onto their benches there. Penalties sat and all sorted out. 3 minutes and 7 seconds to go. 3 goals the margin.
Clark Crumpton takes a shot. It was intercepted, but stolen now. Backhand pad save there by Davis Tope. Cashin knocks that. Kept in, though, by McLennan. Drop for Salmons, who at the dot takes a shot and just shoots that high. A bouncer, though, picked up by Clark Crumpton now in the far side corner. Looked to center it. Good interception there by Stringer. Clark Crumpton with it now. Twisting and turning, stolen by the Ducks. It's loose now in the high slot area. Wilkinson swings and misses. Clark Crumpton over for Scala, intercepted by Cashin, and passes it up to Gukovic. So here comes the Ducks goal scorer. Shot on King, and she goes for a change.
Gukovic had been out for a very, very long time and was desperate for a change. The Inferno now with a chance on the rush. The Ducks managing to get out from the change, but it wasn't clean.
Salmon's shot goes wide. Clark Crumpton tied up, kept in by Cooper, just throws it in on Davis Tope. It ramps up her stick, and Gallagher picks up the loose puck. It'll come right back to Cooper, who got the shorthanded goal early in this third period to break out the lead for the Inferno. A centering pass shot, and they score! What a pass by Isla Malcolm, and Clark Crumpton makes no mistake. And the Inferno now up 6-2 here late in the third period.
We'll see this one on the top down. You'll get a really nice view of the tip in from the pass behind the net. Just a little bit of a defensive lap there by the Ducks, letting the player have their stick down on the ice, and hopefully we get that one on the top down anyway.
Yeah, you can see right in front, and a nice little tip.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do if you're Davis Tope, but a great pass by Isla Malcolm.
So a bit of a blowout here in the third. 4 goals to the Inferno. The grinding machine has just been turned up another notch.
We spoke about it at the beginning of the period, right? What was the Inferno coach going to say? We got to get one early and kill any hope.
Crank it up hard and be merciless and relentless, and that's exactly what they've done. It's been a great period by the Inferno. They've had to deal with a few penalty kills and another 5-on-3. The Ducks not able to take advantage of it. Just under 2 minutes now to play.
Oh, and here comes Malcolm now. Puck's loose. Down is Davis Tope. She's got her glove on it, and Briar Johnson takes a little bit of offense as the Inferno were trying to pounce on it. Now we got a little bit of pushing and shoving as Johnson goes in on Malcolm. And I imagine those two will be going back to the box.
It certainly does appear to be the case. I think there was a little bit of, I'm trying to protect my goaltender there, maybe a bit of snowing or some such, but Johnson has scored it once more to the box for another sit. And we know she won't take a backward step. There's plenty of ferocity in Briar, but she does need to get a bit of control in that, as with 1 minute and 36 seconds to go.
And
we'll wait and see if there's any other penalties as well. It might just be Bryce sitting in one.
Looks
like it is.
Oh no, they're giving roughing both ways. So
getting the two, absolutely. So it'll be 5-on-5. It was after the whistle.
So Noddle's going and Breyer is sitting in the penalty box. And here with 1:36 remaining in the third period, the Inferno up 6-2, look to be taking top spot on the ladder here after 8 games.
Well, it's been a great period for them. The first two were much closer, but this third one, the grinding machine has just turned the Ducks into pate.
Garbutt sends that forward. It's on her stick now, blocked up there by Prosick. It comes over to Reeder, who takes a shot, it deflects and goes through all the bodies and into the corner. Cooper sends it back there for McKenzie, looking to center it for Garbutt. She steals it off the stick of Nelson. Still with it is Garbutt. Oh, a nice pass to the captain, Bailey, with a shot deflected. It's loose. Down is Davis Tope again. They shoot. They score. This time Reeder joins the party, and it's lucky number 7 for the Perth Inferno as they get their 5th goal of the period.
Yeah, so a bit disastrous now for the Ducks. 7 goals to 2 now, so a good one for the Inferno, building up their plus-minus for the ladder. It's starting to look a little bit like yesterday this period, but arguably worse. So I think what we're seeing now is just absolute fatigue, in particular Davis Tope. She's had 59 shots on her, which is an enormous amount of pressure on a goaltender throughout the game, and stuff starting to trickle through now with just over a minute to go. Is understandable under those circumstances. Any human goalie would be falling to bits by now. It's averaging a shot a minute.
So here it's McLennan who chips it forward to Scala. Chips it past Hollier. Grakovic is back there for the Ducks. She has a bit of space and she'll skate it now. Coming in on McLennan, it's Grakovic. Nice job by the Inferno defender to break that one up, and they clear it out of the zone through Salmons. It's a 2-on-1. Back is Hollier. It's Salmons with Scala. Scala winds, shoots, and blocked there by Hollier. It's centered into the slot area. It's picked up there by Salmons. Now on the stick of Green as she just sends that to the safety of behind her own net. Hollier skates it out, 13 seconds remaining. It's all academic here, but maybe can add to the stat sheet. But all the stats that will change will be a glove save there for the netminder, Sasha King.
Very small addition to the stats. One more shot on the net there for the Ducks. Just 5.5 seconds to go. About the only thing you can do here, and it does happen every now and then, is you stack all your forwards across the line, turn the face-off into a shot on the net and see if you can get a goal out of it. But it doesn't happen that time, and the clock will stop. And at the end of it all, the Inferno with a 7-2 lead after a blowout in the 5th of 5 goals. Goals in that 5th to Cooper, Scala, Lukoviak, Michelle Clark-Compton, and the system hasn't caught up yet with who scored the last one. But I'm sure
maybe it was Reeder.
Might have been Reeder. We'll get that too, and of course you can
so
obviously see that
a 5-goal third period, as you mentioned, doesn't really tell much of the game. The Ducks and Inferno traded goals early in the first 2 periods, and we came into what was poised to be an amazing third period, but an early shorthanded goal by Cooper started the party, and the Inferno leave with all the points as they go home to the West as the #1 team early here in the season.
Well, if you're an Inferno fan, you're certainly going to say that the third period was an amazing period with those 26 shots on the net. So they absolutely swamped the duck pond there and drained it, clipped the wings and turned them into foie gras. So at the end of the game, as you say, Gossie, 7-2. The Ducks will be playing next week in Brisbane. They play Brisbane in Brisbane for the next weekend, and then on Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th of December will be the first of the Melbourne derbies for the AWIHL this year between the Ducks and the Mice, and that will be at Docklands. And then the next home game will be in January back here at IceHQ on the 17th and 18th of January for the second derby when the Ducks will be playing the Mice once more. So we'll be very much looking forward to bringing those games to you. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Great to have the Inferno over here, and we hope you've got a lot out of coming in, as well as, of course, the points on the ladder, which we didn't want to give to you, but you got them. So we'll be back for the next game here at IceHQ in January. Bring it on.